The 2026 Mazda CX-30 is basically unchanged. This is the same basic vehicle, but it has a new trim. It's the Aire Edition. You can get in a turbo or non-turbo. But what struck me as soon as I saw it when I opened the door was the interior. I really like, me personally, I like light interior. So they're adding these seats right here, which have a combination of a synthetic leather here that's in white, and then it has this gray cloth here in the middle. And then it has a real light gray stitching around the vehicle as well, contrast stitching. It also has this kind of gray simulated suede here on the dash as well, which looks pretty cool. So it definitely looks nice. It brightens it up in here. That's one of the things I like about light interior. It has this light headliner as well. Really appreciate that they added this color. Now, of course, on the outside, it's all blacked out, all the emblems and stuff. There is a wireless charger here, and for the most part, it charges when I put my phone there, even with this large case. There's a few times when it doesn't charge, but when I put my phone there, it has this little status light here, which will turn green when it's charging. It'll also show here on the screen, right there, that it's charging. And the touch screen, it's actually a touch screen. It doesn't allow you to touch the screen unless you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Or no, just Apple CarPlay, I think it is. But so just right now, it doesn't allow the touch. But you control it with this, and I've gone over, I mean, Mazda's had this for a while, where you can control the thing entirely here. So you can hit the home button here, and you can select what you want, which this is pretty standard on all Mazdas. Gauge clusters, it's the same. I've seen some other Mazdas that upgraded this or changed it anyway, but it has the same basic views here. And it has a little car right there, with which other Mazdas, the newer ones, have the little car with the lines that kind of move and stuff. This one doesn't have that, it's just static. It has a lane keep assist system where when you just go to move, the vehicle is wandering out of the lane and just kind of nudges you back in, that kind of thing. But yeah, all this is basically the same here. So they added the white interior, the light interior anyway, but the outside, this is white exterior color, but you can see it adds a lot of black. So it blacks out. You have the gloss black here in the grille. You have the gloss black around the grille, and then the matte black there in the middle with the parking sensors, radar adaptive cruise control. The bottom part is a matte black with the turn signals. The wheels are a gloss black, of course. Then you have the large black cladding here on the sides, which some people kind of think is controversial, but you know, it's the style of the vehicle, I suppose. And then, of course, you have the convenience of the hatchback, and you can see the emblems are blacked out, or darkened anyway. So they're not really black, they're kind of like just a darkened chrome. I really like hatchbacks, and this one is manual, so you can just lift it up. You don't have to wait for it to slowly go up and down like a powered one. And it has a usable amount of cargo space back here. A single light, which can be improved. I wish it was a little bit better, but it's all carpeted in here. And then this part is a hard touch surface. This lifts up, and you do have a spare tire with tools and everything, so you're not skipping on that. Now, when you fold the seats down, you do have to move the front seat forward quite a ways in order to accommodate the seat folding down, but it does add a lot of cargo space back here when you need it, especially I like the way it has a 60-40 split, so you can add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space. So you can see it has that light gray stitching back here. It has illuminated sill plates, which is kind of cool. And then the back seats, you can see this, it says the CX-30, it's a small vehicle, so the legroom has to be compromised if you move the front seats all the way back. But yeah, these light interior seats look good. Car seat attachments, armrest here, just brightens it all up. It'd be nice if the doors had a little bit more light colors instead of just black and a little bit of stitching, but they're okay. But yeah, manually adjust the seats. Now this is the non-turbo, so this one window sticker has like 33,000 on it, so it's a fairly reasonable price considering what you're getting with fuel economy, reliability, you know, basic practicality with the hatchback and passenger space here in the front, car seats in the back. Kind of limited on adult room in the back though. This particular one has the non-turbo. You can get a turbocharged in the Aire Edition, but this one has, you see where the battery's insulated firewall, and this is the 2.5 liter non-turbo. Gets 186 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. You can see there's no turbo back there, just regular exhaust. And this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Driver's side seat is powered, so it has two-way lumbar adjustments, just regular seat adjustments there. And these seats are on the firm side. Now this is a brand new vehicle, so it might break in a little bit. I've had some issues with some other Mazdas as far as seat comfort. This one's actually not bad. It's just on the firm side, and I think it's just because it's new, and it'll kind of, over time, it'll, you know, soften up or whatever as you get in and out of it. Now the way this vehicle is designed, it's intended for the door to wrap into the dash there, but you see the didn't really implement it very well. As far as the alignment. So it kind of takes away from, I don't personally have a problem with this. I'm not like the super piggy person with that kind of stuff, but other things I am, but that particular thing doesn't really bother me. But I know it bothers some people where it just takes away. If you can't manufacture it consistently, because that would be a challenge, right? To have the door line up with the dash. And you can see on the other side, it's the same deal. It's just misaligned. And it kind of just takes away from the style a little bit. For some people, that might be an issue. But yeah, it's just one of those things where if you choose a design like that, you have to be able to implement it. And so the manufacturing process apparently is not really able to do that. Because this vehicle is a press vehicle, so it's designed for journalists to look at, take pictures of, and all that stuff. So you would put your best foot forward, I would assume. So, you know, this is probably typical of how it's going to be when everybody gets it. Now, little things that you can tell, this is a little bit of a cheaper vehicle. You can see the little tweeters are right there, which kind of block this vent a little bit. You know, it's a little bit tacked on, but it's fine. But yeah, in the price range, I think it's a good vehicle for a lot of people, especially if you just need a commuting vehicle that's good on gas and is able to give you some practicality as far as the, you know, the hatchback, and overall space here in the front is fine for, I would say, for most people, even if you're over 6 feet tall. But you know, it's got a sunroof, and I like the way it has a manual shade that blocks 100% of the light. You don't have to wait for like some power shade. It's like, ooh. You just open it up when you want, close it, and has a, of course, you can tilt it and all that stuff. Place to put your shades. And, you know, some basic functionality. Just manual mirror there. Climate control, they seem to have done a better job on the climate control, it seems, because other Mazdas in prior years, it just seems like there's some issues with the stepped, with the automatic function, right? The fan speed will go up and down, and it's just a little bit wonky. This one seems fine. It seems like normal, like all the other vehicles. It even has 3-stage heated seats as well here in the front. I like the way these buttons here are black, because I've had some issues with the other Mazdas where this is like a chrome color, and then when the sun's shining, you can't see anything on there, so you have to kind of know what they are, which once you start driving a vehicle, you'll know what they are, but still, you know, it's nice to be able to see it automatically because it's black instead of that chrome color. Now this area with the wireless chargers there, the cup holders, me personally, I prefer them to be a little bit closer so I don't have to like lean forward to get to them. But yeah, the controls are pretty straightforward as far as using this little dial to control the screen. You just turn the dial to go up and down and press in on the button to make selections. You have quick access buttons here on the outside with the navigation and all that. Electronic parking brake, I really like the way it engages and disengages when you put it in park. And then when you go, it disengages. Also, it does not have an idle stop, so that's really nice. So yes, you know, it's a pretty basic vehicle, and I like that. You know, it has sport mode, and you just drive the vehicle and everything's good. Armrest is fine. I mean, it's soft. It's very soft and comfortable. It has a property line there in the center with the French stitching. You do have to slide it back a little bit and then lift up on it. So I wish it just like went straight up, but that's the way they designed it. And there's the compartment here with the USB ports and stuff. Now there is an SD card in here, a little place right here for the SD card. And this is for, I'm pretty sure that's just for the navigation maps. You can't put anything in there to play or anything, but you do have the USB ports that's what they're for. Glove compartment is pretty decent size. It's kind of compartmentalized. The glove compartment is compartmentalized. It's funny. And then you have the place in the very back, there's a little door there. That's where the cabin filter is located. The Aire Edition does not have the 360 camera. So you can get the higher trim if you want that kind of thing. It does have a backup camera. I don't really care for the location. It's next to the tag, and it just kind of gives you that, you know, tunnel vision, I guess. But it is a wide view. You're able to see behind the vehicle. It's just, you know, with Mazda, with the little screen that's far away, and also the resolution and the placement of the camera could be improved, right? But it does have the parking sensors too, and blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, all that stuff. But, you know, backup camera could be improved in subtle ways, I guess. Me personally, I don't have a problem with the acceleration. I think it's fine. Actually, there's nobody behind me that's close anyway. Let me go ahead and accelerate. We're going up a hill a little bit right here, but just so you can hear it. All right, so like 0 to like 45. But anyways, it's not a fast vehicle, but it's not annoyingly slow at the same time. There's some vehicles that are, you know, with a 4-cylinder. Now this is a 2.5 liter. It's a pretty good size 4-cylinder. So it has the acceleration that's adequate. I think for most people would be satisfied with it. And you know, just off the line like that, it's not going to be as impressive because you're flooring it, but revving it up so much. But when just normal driving, it feels fine. It gives me the confidence to merge in traffic and pass and all that stuff. So, you know, it's not like a annoyingly slow acceleration or anything. It just punches off the line, and, you know, just low RPMs really feel more impressive. So 186 horsepower, I mean, it feels like it. You know, it feels like some vehicles have these ridiculously high horsepower numbers, and then you're driving and it's like, I don't think so, right? It just doesn't make any sense. The horsepower and torque numbers make no sense. This one is in line. It feels like it's a little bit better than what it actually says. So yeah, if you want a little bit more power, actually a lot more power, the turbocharged engine is really impressive in Mazda. So if you want to go upgrade to the turbo, that would give you an impressive level of power. This was more in the adequate range, but if you want to be impressed with the acceleration, definitely get the turbo, because it'll do it. So yeah, it has the adaptive cruise control. It doesn't have like the lane holding system. Now, if you get too close to the lane, it'll kind of nudge you back, that kind of thing, but it doesn't have like that full system. But, you know, a lot of times that's annoying anyway, and tugs on you and fights with your steering wheel while you're driving. So this is actually enjoyable to drive. The dampers, the shock system and the suspension system has been improved, but I can't really tell a difference. This feels fine either way. I mean, the other ones I didn't really have a huge problem with. I don't remember any problems with the suspension. And this one feels good, you know. I mean, you do hear some road noise and stuff, but, you know, for the type of vehicle it is and the price and everything, it's pretty good. Yeah, I was looking at the window sticker, and it's like 10% made in Japan and mostly made in Mexico. And so yeah, some Mazdas are made in Japan, and some of them apparently are made in other countries. And it feels very solid at highway speeds, and feels good. Definitely a good commuter car. You know, there's a little bit of restriction as far as, you know, just the size. And I think with a compact vehicle like this, the choices that they make as far as the design could be a little bit better, you know, being nitpicky, right? Because like this chunk here on the door can be a little bit narrower. That could just not stick out so much. You know, the console here could be a little bit smaller or diminished. So that way you feel like you have more room, you know? I mean, this one has a low roof line, which is kind of little bit claustrophobic, slightly. But that's the way this vehicle's been for a while, you know. And if you know, like, it's not really an issue, but little things like that where the design of the vehicle kind of is limiting a little bit, you know, which it looks really good. I mean, it's a good exterior style and everything. And I do like this style on the inside as well. It's just certain things that, you know, that could probably kind of push out a little bit, because there's room, you know. You can see this is protruding out quite a ways. It is soft to the touch, so if I put my leg on it, it's not really a big deal. It's not like it's, you know, hard as a rock. Same thing with over here. But overall, it's really fine. I mean, it's just a smaller vehicle, you know, so it depends on your needs. You know, like getting car seats in and out of the back, you know, might be a little bit of an issue. But once you get them in place, you know, putting the kids in and out shouldn't be a big problem. So it has the full speed adaptive cruise control. So like right now, I'm not even touching the brake or anything. It was able to stop and then resume without me pushing the pedals.